Regression or progression, obviously it's a regression, obviously, and I think when it comes to sedition, we are actually looking at a law that before this was already bad. Now it has become worse. It's a law that before this has been used to stifle freedom of speech and expression, and now it's going to be used even more to stop people from not just talking, but trying to stop people from thinking. That's what it's going to do, you know. And the way, if you look at the amendments, I don't plan to go into the amendments in much detail, but I just want to touch on the amendments that relate to social media. And it's quite clear, if you look at the amendments themselves, it's quite clear that what the government is trying to do is actually to target social media users, like myself, like all of you. And the reason for this is quite simple. They have lost the internet. And in fact, they have never had any sort of control over the internet, try as they might. And so in order to assert some sort of control of the internet, they have a number of laws, and one of them, and the most potent of them, is the Sedition Act. Let's look at some of the amendments. Now, propagation is a sedition offense. What is propagation? In the amendments, it's not defined. But to me, the ordinary meaning of the word propagation is to spread, to distribute, to share. And what does this mean? It means that, you know, all those Ahmad Maslam memes that you guys like to share about him cooking, you know, 6% and all that. The act of sharing itself can be an offense. Okay? So it doesn't matter now whether you are the person who actually created the meme in the first instance. Okay? The very fact that you share it from one WhatsApp group to another WhatsApp group, that can itself land you in trouble. Other amendments include now the court can actually issue what is known as a prohibition order on the application of the DVP. And what does a prohibition order do? A prohibition order, if it is granted, means that once it is served on the person who is the subject matter of that order, that person would have to take down any so-called seditious publication online. So to give you an example, say for example you have a news portal. Let's call it the Malaysian Kini, right? The Malaysian Kini publishes this expose on how certain religious authorities, you know, might not be doing what they're supposed to do, for example. And then the government doesn't like this. The government, through the DPP, applies to court for this prohibition order. Now, they don't even have to even launch into any investigation or even charge anyone to apply to court. Okay? There's no prerequisite that there needs to be some sort of action in the first place. All they need to do is satisfy the court that there is a likelihood, or it appears to be, that this particular publication might lead to feelings of ill will, hostility, or hatred on the ground of race or religion, which is, I think you can agree with me, which is a very low threshold. So they apply to court, and once this order is obtained, and I think it's not going to be difficult to obtain that sort of order, served on, say for example, what was the example that I gave, the Malaysian Kini, served on this news portal, and basically the news portal would then have to take down that report. And what is more absurd is that that news portal, the person who actually came up with the report, would be prevented from accessing any electronic device. What is an electronic device? Well, it's not defined, again, in the amendments, but it could perhaps mean his tablet, his phone, even his microwave, if you want to make a case that it's an electronic device. So it's actually a very, very powerful tool that the government has now. And for publications which you cannot identify the maker, you know, for example, you have the same news report, and then in that news report, underneath the news report, you've got those anonymous comments, which sometimes can be quite nasty, okay? They can use that as a basis to again make an application for a prohibition order. And then MCMC, because the person who perhaps made those comments cannot be identified, the MCMC can then block access to that particular website. So all this goes back to one question then. Where do we put our so-called no censorship of the internet? The MSC guarantee that we have made before this, and I think by and large it has held true, that despite a lot of temptations, I think on the part of the state, they have not actually censored the internet. But now with this, I think we can certainly question as to whether censorship of the internet, the guarantee that there will be no internet censorship, whether that will still remain true. So these are some of the amendments that will actually affect us all. And I just want to end my initial thoughts with this. Yes, these amendments may seem quite severe, and it will affect a lot of people. But does that mean that we need to stop talking? Does that mean that we don't do anything? We just don't exercise our rights? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, if we say that these are principles, democratic principles that we want to adhere to, that we uphold, okay, as a basis of this country, and it should be, because it is part of the Federal Constitution. If we're going to say that these are values that we cherish, that we put on a footing, a pedestal, then we need to fight for our rights. And if the government wants to take it away, we should not be, we should not allow them to do it in such a manner. I think that I'll end my initial thoughts on this. Thank you.